Jakarta, Indonesia's capital, is sinking fast. Once a thriving metropolis built on swampland, Jakarta now faces a crisis that threatens its very existence. In some neighborhoods, the ground drops by up to 20 centimeters each year, one of the fastest rates of land subsidence in the world. Streets buckle, homes tilt, and entire communities are forced to adapt to a shifting landscape. 40% of the city now lies below sea level, leaving millions exposed to relentless flooding. When heavy rains hit, water has nowhere to go but into homes and businesses. The main culprit? Rampant groundwater extraction, a practice that's become a lifeline for many, but a ticking time bomb for the city. With no reliable piped water, residents drill wells, draining the aquifers and causing the land to collapse. Every drop drawn from underground accelerates the city's descent. Floods are frequent and devastating, especially during the rainy season, destroying homes and spreading disease. Families are forced to evacuate, and recovery can take months or even years. The poorest communities suffer most, often living in the lowest-lying, most vulnerable areas with little protection or resources to rebuild. But even skyscrapers and business districts are at risk. No one is immune to the city's sinking fate. Critical infrastructure, roads, power plants, communications, faces constant threat. Transportation grinds to a halt, and power outages become routine. Jakarta's sinking isn't just an environmental issue, it's an existential crisis for Indonesia's political and economic heart. The city's future prosperity is at stake. The city's very foundations are being undermined, and the clock is ticking. Every year, the risk grows more severe. Without urgent action, Jakarta's future hangs in the balance. The choices made today will determine whether this city can survive tomorrow. To save Jakarta, a city threatened by rising seas and relentless land subsidence, Indonesia is building a massive seawall along its vulnerable northern coast, a project unlike anything the country has attempted before. The first phase involves reinforced concrete walls designed to shield the most at-risk neighborhoods, over 100,000 people who live closest to the water and face flooding every year. But these walls are only a temporary fix, expected to last just 10 to 15 years as the city keeps sinking and the sea keeps rising, putting even more pressure on the defenses. The long-term vision is even bolder, a 35-kilometer offshore seawall, stretching far out into the bay, designed to hold back the Java Sea itself. This megastructure will also create artificial islands, opening up space for new business centers, luxury districts, and even parks and green spaces. This ambitious plan aims to transform Jakarta's waterfront into a modern, world-class destination. But it's controversial, costly, environmentally risky, and likely to benefit the wealthy and developers far more than the city's poorest residents, who may see little improvement in their daily lives. Many fear the new developments will leave millions in old, sinking neighborhoods behind, deepening inequality and forcing some to relocate. The seawall is a high-stakes gamble. Can engineering outpace nature's relentless advance, or will the sea eventually win? Jakarta's survival may depend on the answer, as the city's future hangs in the balance between human ingenuity and the unstoppable force of nature. Jakarta's explosive growth has fueled sprawling shantytowns, kampungs, where millions live without clean water, sanitation, or land rights. Floods hit these marginalized communities first, while luxury towers and marinas rise nearby. In the name of progress, authorities are clearing kampungs for new developments, displacing families with little warning. Relocated residents often end up in distant, isolating apartment blocks, cut off from jobs and community. The city's poorest are being pushed aside by the very projects meant to protect Jakarta. The struggle for space is as much social as environmental, a battle between the vulnerable and the powerful. For many, the fight for survival is against both rising waters and rising inequality. Jakarta's rivers, once lifelines, are now choked with garbage and sewage. Over 60% are heavily polluted, turning floods into toxic disasters. When rains come, clogged waterways overflow, inundating neighborhoods with contaminated water. Illegal construction narrows riverbanks, destroying natural floodplains and worsening floods. Climate change is making rainfall more intense and frequent, overwhelming the city's defenses. The result? A vicious cycle of pollution, flooding, and disease. Tackling Jakarta's floods means more than building walls. It requires cleaning rivers and rethinking waste and development. The challenge is urgent and complex, but essential for the city's survival. Aceh, on Sumatra's northern tip, was devastated by the 2004 tsunami, over 168,000 lives lost. Since then, Aceh has become a global model for tsunami preparedness. Instead of relying on massive seawalls, the focus is on early warning systems and community drills. Schools teach children to recognize tsunami signs and evacuation routes. Scientists use drones and simulations to map risks and plan escapes. Building a wall high enough to stop a tsunami is impossible. Knowledge and vigilance are Aceh's real defenses. The memory of disaster drives constant readiness. Aceh's lesson resilience comes from people, not just infrastructure. Bali's beaches, famed worldwide, are vanishing. Over a quarter of the coastline is eroding fast. Tourism-fueled development crowds the shore, disrupting natural sand movement and accelerating erosion. Seawalls and jetties built to protect resorts often worsen the problem elsewhere. The island now faces an oversupply of hotels, straining resources and the environment. Experts warn that unchecked growth threatens Bali's natural beauty, the very thing that draws visitors. Erosion is a stark warning. Tourism must be managed sustainably, or paradise will be lost. Bali's future depends on balancing economic gain with environmental protection. The challenge: welcome the world without destroying what makes Bali unique. Indonesia's environmental crisis is not just a distant threat, it's unfolding now, reaching deep into its rice fields and ancient forests, impacting millions of lives. Rising seas are salting coastal paddies, threatening the nation's food supply and the livelihoods of countless farming families who depend on these fields for survival. Scientists are racing against time to breed salt-tolerant rice varieties, hoping to secure harvests for future generations. But the challenge is immense, and the clock is ticking. Meanwhile, deforestation, driven by palm oil expansion and slash-and-burn farming, has already wiped out a third of Indonesia's ancient forests, erasing habitats and releasing carbon. The catastrophic 2015 fires released as much carbon as the entire U.S. economy in a year, blanketing Southeast Asia in toxic haze and endangering public health. In response, President Joko Widodo is cracking down on illegal burning, enforcing stricter regulations, and promoting sustainable farming to protect both people and the environment. Saving Indonesia's green heart is vital, not only for biodiversity and climate stability, but also for the well-being and prosperity of the nation's future generations. The fight for survival is everywhere, on land, in the water, and in the air. Indonesia's choices today will shape its destiny for decades to come.